went to an early morning show of Iron Man 3. And I'm a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr. and also of superheroes and superhero movies and superhero comics. And yeah, Iron Man 3 was, to me, by far the best of the three of them. Although I was with three other people and different people had different opinions on it, but I loved it. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't covered up as much. And yeah, I'd rather look at Robert Downey Jr. than the shell casing around him. When we went to see it, there were previews for new Marvel movies coming out, and I just can't help but think back on the video I've seen many times, just like you've seen many times on YouTube, where Michael Jackson goes to Marvel Comics and he's talking with Stan Lee, and we know he wanted to buy it, and sometimes I just wonder if some sort of partnership was made there. But before I went to see the movie, even earlier than the early morning movie that I went to see, was on Facebook. And there was a song, somebody posted on Facebook, "Do you think this is Michael Jackson?" It was a song called Black Widow. I think it was Billie Jean Jackson. She was sharing it from somebody else's YouTube. So we went to the movie and I came back and that video had been pulled from YouTube. Copyright. I went looking to see if there was maybe a small clip of it, and I found the whole song, but it just was like a weaker sounding version of it.
You walking the line, she making me stay, she keeping the count, she making me pay. You walking the line, she making me stay, she keeping the count, she making me pay. And with your love, I feel at home. And with your love, I feel at home.
I know I've seen the video where Jason Malachi is actually talking and saying, "Yeah, this is my voice, this is me." But I just think there's just too much of a coincidence that Jason Malachi, the letters are so much like Michael Jackson, and his sound is so much like Michael Jackson. And most artists have some sort of peak where, they do their best work, and after that they do consistently good work, but they've already had their peak. We'll just take the Beatles, and the Beatles might have had their peak with the White Album, but then came Abbey Road, and Stevie Wonder. Some of his best works were in the days of Innervision or Talking Book, and he did consistently good work after that, but that was his peak. Performing artists will have their peak, and then they just can't outdo themselves. What I know about Michael Jackson is people have said over and over that he couldn't outdo Thriller. And then Invincible came out, and he had a lot of faith in it. The reviews weren't all that. And I'm just thinking, like, trying to put myself in his head. What if, he was always afraid to put something new out after all that, because he just never wanted to be maybe consistently good. Maybe he always wanted to be better than Thriller or whatever his peak might have been. So he releases something like Black Widow, which was the song that was on Facebook today. The same thing with the Michael album. So many people want to say none of that is Michael Jackson. Well, Michael Jackson has gotten older since the 80s or even the 90s. His voice might have changed, and I'm just thinking that you guys aren't giving him a break. If that really is him releasing these songs, and they're not up to what your expectations are, And he does have this like perfection, gotta be better than what I last did thing going on. If he's out there watching all your comments on his songs from Michael or even this song Black Widow, and you know, you're just ragging on him. Back to the Marvel Comics idea. This was the ad that was on my Facebook a few days before it came out.